Alex stared out of the small spaceship window as the alien planet grew larger in view. Colors he had never seen before spread across the surface. Purple sands, turquoise forests, and rivers that sparkled like liquid glass. The ship shook slightly as it entered the planet's thin atmosphere. His heart raced. This was humanity's first close encounter with a sentient alien civilization. The mission had been simple in description but daunting in reality. Observe, record, and report. Alex's official orders didn't mention anything about being noticed by royalty, or having his very existence questioned by an alien queen. The spaceship landed softly on a flat area near a glowing forest. The ground hummed under the weight of the craft. Outside, the air shimmered, filled with tiny floating lights that resembled miniature stars. Alex stepped down from the ship. His boots sank slightly into the soft purple sand. He felt as if he had walked into a dream. From a distance, he saw them. Tall, graceful beings moved among the lights, their translucent skin reflecting the colors of the environment. They had 4 arms, 2 longer than the others, and eyes that glowed faintly in rhythm with their speech, a language that sounded like music. Alex froze, unsure how to react. "You may proceed," a voice echoed. Not in the air, but in his mind. Alex blinked, startled. He realized the voice had come from the largest figure among the aliens, a being who seemed to float slightly above the ground. Its presence was commanding, elegant, and powerful. The alien queen. She was taller than any human, her skin shifting in colors with every subtle movement, almost like sunlight through water. Her eyes, wide and luminous, seemed to see everything at once. Alex's breath caught. He had expected curiosity from this planet's inhabitants, but he hadn't expected attention from the ruler herself. The other aliens stepped aside as the queen approached. Alex felt a mix of fear and fascination. She stopped a few feet away and studied him closely. "You are unlike any we have seen," the queen said. Her voice, although silent to the ears, resonated in Alex's mind clearly. "Your form, your essence. Do you belong to anyone?" Alex blinked. The question was strange. Did she mean ownership? Friendship? Family? He answered honestly. I belong to myself," he said carefully. "I am a human exploring your planet. I have a mission, but no one waits for me in particular. I'm not attached to anyone in a way you might expect." The queen tilted her head considering his words. Her skin shifted into hues of deep blue and violet, a sign Alex assumed indicated thought. Around them, the alien attendants whispered in their musical language, though Alex could not understand the words. Still, he sensed that he was being judged, not as an enemy, but as a subject of curiosity. "Curious," she finally said. "Rare among your kind. Most come with attachments, chains they cannot see. You carry none." She paused, and for a moment the world felt still. "You will come with me. There is much to observe, and I must know if your independence can withstand what lies ahead." Alex nodded, unsure but compelled by an unspoken command. He followed her through the forest. The trees, or what looked like trees, emitted soft pulses of light with every step. The air smelled faintly sweet, like flowers and rain combined. Tiny creatures shaped like glowing fish floated in the air, darting around like living lanterns. Alex wanted to reach out, but the queen's gaze warned him to stay in line. "Do not be afraid," she said. "Fear is a natural response, but it clouds judgment. Your species often lets fear control you. Can you walk without fear?" Alex swallowed. "I will try," he said. She seemed to approve. "Good. Fear may come, but you must act without it. Observe, adapt, and learn. That is the essence of your kind's survival. And the reason I watch you now." They arrived at a clearing, and before him stood a structure that seemed impossible, a palace, though unlike any human construction. It floated slightly above the ground, its walls transparent in some places, revealing shifting corridors of light inside. The roof spiraled upward like a giant seashell, glowing faintly in the alien twilight. Alex felt his pulse quicken. "This is my court," the queen said. "Here all decisions are made. Here all knowledge is preserved. You will enter and show me yourself." Inside, the palace was even more astonishing. The walls shimmered with moving patterns, telling stories Alex could not comprehend. The floor was soft, yet firm, like walking on thick, woven energy. Aliens moved silently along pathways of light, and Alex noticed the strange harmony of their existence. Everything had a purpose. Everything worked together. The queen led him to a raised platform at the center. She gestured for him to stand. Around them, the alien attendants arranged themselves in circles, their glowing eyes focused on Alex. "Look at them," the Queen said. "They are my people. They will observe you as I do. Your actions, your words, your essence, everything matters here. Will you falter under their gaze, human? Or will your spirit remain true?" Alex felt pressure, but also a strange calm. He straightened his back. "I will not falter," he said. The Queen's eyes widened slightly. "Interesting. Few humans claim such certainty. Even fewer hold it when their lives are tested. We will see if your words match your being." She paused. "Tell me, human, what do you seek?" Alex thought carefully. "I seek to understand, to learn, to observe your civilization and report what I find, and to survive. That is all I can promise." The Queen's glowing form shifted to a color Alex had never seen. Deep gold, almost radiant. "Honesty, clarity, simplicity, these are qualities I admire, even in beings from distant stars. You are unlike most who come here." She motioned for him to follow. "Come, your first lessons begin now. Observation alone is not enough. You must act, respond, and adapt. Only then will you truly belong. Or not." Alex followed, wondering what this lesson would entail. Already he felt a strange connection to this alien ruler, not one of fear but of mutual curiosity. She was studying him, but he was also learning about her civilization in ways he could never have imagined. As they walked through the palace, Alex noticed devices and structures that seemed alive. Some hummed softly, responding to their presence. Others displayed holographic maps of the stars, planets, and energy flows of the galaxy. Alex realized that this civilization had mastered knowledge in ways humans could only dream of. Yet despite their advancement, the Queen's interest in him was personal. She wanted to know him, understand him, see what made him different. "Many come to my world seeking power, alliances, or wealth," the Queen said. "They are unworthy of my notice. You are different, perhaps because you seek nothing beyond understanding, perhaps because you are not bound to anyone." We shall see. Alex felt a chill, not of fear but of awe. He had expected danger on this planet, but never attention. And now, as the Queen continued to study him with those radiant eyes, he realized that survival here would require more than courage. It would require trust, wit, and the ability to understand beings far beyond human comprehension. Finally, they reached a balcony overlooking a valley filled with glowing plants and flowing rivers. "Here," the Queen said softly. "You will stay for the first night. Rest, observe, learn. Tomorrow your true challenges begin." Alex nodded. "Thank you, Your Majesty." The Queen's glow softened into a gentle silver. "Rest, human. We begin at dawn. And remember, whether you belong to anyone is not yet decided. Even I, who watches you closely, cannot tell. That will reveal itself in time." As night fell over the alien landscape, Alex lay under the open sky, staring at twin moons reflecting on the glowing rivers below. He felt both small and important at once. A human on an alien world, noticed by a Queen who could decide his fate with a thought. And yet he felt hope that his choices, his courage, and his human nature could matter in ways he had never imagined. Somewhere in the distance, the Queen's voice echoed faintly in his mind, almost like a promise. "Tomorrow we begin. You will show me who you are." Alex closed his eyes, letting the alien night wash over him, wondering what it meant to truly belong, or to belong to no one at all. The next morning, Alex awoke to the gentle hum of the alien world. Light filtered through the palace walls in shifting patterns, painting the room with colors that changed every second. He sat up and looked around. The balcony where he had watched the glowing rivers yesterday was empty now. Tiny floating lights drifted through the air, moving like lanterns guided by invisible hands. Alex stretched and took a deep breath. Today he would meet the Queen in her court. Yesterday had been a test of patience and observation, but today he would face something more demanding. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. "Come," the Queen's voice resonated in his mind. It was gentle yet firm. "It is time for the court. Observe, listen, and speak when necessary. Your actions will tell me more than your words." He followed the glowing corridor to the central hall of the palace. The air inside was warm and filled with a soft vibration, like the heartbeat of the building itself. Alex noticed beings moving gracefully across the floor, their forearms coordinated in elegant motions. Their eyes glowed rhythmically as they spoke in musical tones. Though he could not understand their language, he sensed the calm and order of their interactions. At the center of the hall, the Queen floated above a platform of light. She radiated a presence that seemed to fill the room. The attendants gathered around her, forming concentric circles of glowing figures. When Alex entered, all eyes turned toward him. For a moment, the room felt heavy with expectation. "You stand among my people," the Queen said. "They will observe you as I do. Their eyes are sharp, their minds sharper. They must see if your kind is worthy of our attention. Do not disappoint them." Alex nodded. He felt the weight of the moment, but also a strange confidence. He had survived the landing and the Queen's initial scrutiny. He could do this. The Queen gestured and a small glowing orb floated toward Alex. Images flickered across its surface. Scenes of alien life, peaceful and harmonious, yet complex. The Queen's thought echoed in his mind. "Do you understand the balance of our world? Can you see it clearly?" Alex studied the orb. He could see the intricate networks of energy connecting every living thing. Plants, animals, and aliens were linked in ways he could not fully explain. He realized that this civilization had mastered harmony on a level humans had only dreamed of. "I see," Alex said. "Your world is connected in ways we cannot fully understand. Every action affects another. It is beautiful." The Queen's form shimmered with soft green light, a sign of approval. "Good. Observation is the first step. Now action is required." Suddenly, the floor beneath him shifted slightly. A platform of light rose, carrying him to a higher level of the hall. He could see the entire court from this vantage point. Aliens of different shapes and sizes moved about, each performing tasks that seemed important and purposeful. Alex realized this was more than a court. It was a living representation of their society, showing him how every individual played a part. The Queen spoke again. "You must interact with them. Learn their ways. Show them your human qualities. Courage, intelligence, and honesty are valued here. Will you succeed where others fail?" Alex stepped down from the platform and approached a group of aliens practicing a form of coordination he could only describe as dance. Each movement was precise, each step meaningful. One of the aliens glanced at him, its glowing eyes curious but not threatening. Alex bowed slightly, a human gesture of respect. The alien responded with a subtle nod, a small flicker of approval in its eyes. He smiled, feeling a connection. Even in this advanced world, simple honesty and respect seemed to matter. The Queen's voice came again. "Observe carefully. They will test you in ways you do not yet see. Your responses will define your place here." As he continued through the court, Alex noticed that some aliens were working on floating machines, manipulating energy fields with their arms. Others were tending to gardens that glowed with bioluminescent plants. The entire court seemed alive, every movement and action synchronized with a purpose he could only begin to comprehend. An attendant approached him, offering a glowing fruit-like object. Alex hesitated but then took it, remembering the Queen's emphasis on observation and respect. As he held it, the fruit's surface shifted colors, reacting to his touch. It was a simple interaction, yet it felt meaningful. He smiled and nodded at the attendant, who responded with a faint flicker of light, a gesture of acknowledgement. The Queen's presence shifted closer, her form now glowing softly in shades of violet. "You understand respect, but can you handle responsibility?" she asked. "Your next task will show me your courage and intelligence." Before Alex could respond, the court floor opened slightly, revealing a small chamber below. Inside, he saw a delicate alien creature trapped in a lattice of energy. Its eyes were large and frightened. The Queen's thought reached him clearly. "Free it without causing harm. Your actions now show the depth of your character." Alex studied the lattice. It pulsed with energy, reacting to movement. He realized that brute force would not work. He focused, observing the patterns of the energy flow, and carefully guided his hands along the lattice's edges, applying pressure at precise points. Slowly, the lattice opened and the creature stepped out, trembling but unharmed. The court gasped, or at least Alex sensed a collective intake of breath. The Queen's form shifted to a brilliant gold. "Excellent. You acted with care and intelligence. You value life even when it is not your own. Few humans can do this." Alex exhaled, feeling a mixture of relief and pride. He had passed the first test, but he knew there would be more. The Queen's eyes glowed with a new light, one that reflected curiosity rather than judgment. Now observe their customs, she said. Join their discussions, learn their ways, and speak only when necessary. Your words carry weight here. Show thought, not haste. Alex approached a group of aliens engaged in a discussion about resource management. He listened carefully, noticing the subtle ways they communicated, through gestures, color changes, and rhythmic pulses of sound. When it was his turn to speak, he offered an idea that applied human problem-solving to their energy management system. The aliens paused, and then their eyes glowed brightly, signaling approval. The Queen's voice echoed in his mind again. You think clearly and respectfully. Your species' ingenuity is rare, and your humility rarer still. These qualities may ensure your survival here. As the day progressed, Alex continued to move through the court, learning, observing, and occasionally speaking. Each interaction revealed more about the aliens' values: harmony, respect, intelligence, and courage. He realized that the Queen's Court was not merely a place of governance, but a living school of wisdom. By late afternoon, the Queen summoned him to a central platform once more. Her form glowed softly, a sign of calm authority. You have observed well, she said. You have acted with care and intelligence. But one final lesson remains today: patience. True understanding requires time. You will stay in my court not as a guest but as a learner. Only then will I truly see if you belong, Alex bowed. I will learn, Your Majesty. I promise to respect your ways and do my best. The Queen's glow softened, almost like a smile. Good. You have the qualities I value. But remember, belonging is not about chains or control. It is about understanding, courage, and choice. Tomorrow your trials will test these further. Be ready. Alex spent the evening in a small chamber provided by the Queen. He watched the glowing lights of the palace and the alien city beyond. Despite the strangeness, he felt a growing confidence. He was a human, far from Earth, in a world that could have been hostile. Yet the Queen's interest in him was not of ownership or domination, but of curiosity and respect. He realized that his journey on this alien planet was not only about survival, but about proving the value of his humanity. Courage, honesty, intelligence, and respect. These were qualities he had carried all his life. Now, in a world of unimaginable beauty and complexity, these qualities mattered more than ever. As he drifted to sleep, Alex felt the weight of the Queen's observation, but it was not oppressive. It was challenging, yes, but it also inspired him. For the first time, he understood what it might mean to truly belong somewhere, not through possession, but through understanding and trust. The alien night hummed softly outside, and Alex felt a deep sense of anticipation. Tomorrow, the real trials would begin, and he would have to show not just his skills, but his heart. And somewhere in the palace, the Queen's gaze lingered on him, curious, thoughtful, and unyielding. The morning light filtered through the palace walls, casting patterns of shifting colors across the floor. Alex woke with a sense of anticipation he could not shake. Today he would face his first true trial in the Queen's Court. Yesterday had been about observation and patience, but today demanded action. Alex, the Queen's voice entered his mind, calm but firm. Today you will face a test. Your courage, judgment, and compassion will be judged. You must act with both intelligence and heart. Are you ready? Alex nodded, though his stomach twisted nervously. I am ready, Your Majesty. The Queen's glow shifted to a pale, approving green. Follow me. He left his chamber and entered the central hall where the court awaited. The Queen's attendants formed two lines, creating a pathway that led to a large platform. As he walked, Alex noticed the court's energy buzzing with quiet expectation. He felt the weight of every glowing eye upon him, each alien silently evaluating his presence. At the platform, a chamber opened below, revealing a forested area. But it was no ordinary forest. The trees were tall and thin, their bark glowing faintly. The ground was uneven, covered in soft moss that pulsed under pressure, and in the center, trapped in a shimmering energy net, was a small creature, something like a fox crossed with a bird, its wings folded tightly against its body. Its eyes were large and filled with fear. The first trial begins, the Queen said in his mind. Free the creature. Observe it, understand it, and act without harming it. Many fail because they act with haste or fear. Will you succeed where others fail? Alex stepped closer, studying the energy net. It pulsed rhythmically, reacting to every small movement he made. He realized he could not simply force the creature free. He needed to think, to observe patterns, to act carefully. He took a deep breath and knelt beside the net. Slowly, he extended his hands, feeling the vibrations in the energy. He watched how it responded, learning its rhythm, using gentle, precise movements. He guided the net's energy along its edges, loosening it gradually. The creature's eyes followed him, trusting him in a way that filled him with a surprising warmth. After several tense moments, the net opened, and the creature stepped out, trembling but unharmed. It looked up at Alex and then leapt into the air, flapping its delicate wings and disappearing into the glowing forest. The court remained silent for a moment. Then a collective hum of approval swept through the hall. The queen's glow shone bright gold, a clear sign of satisfaction. "Well done," she said in his mind. "You acted with intelligence and compassion. Courage alone is not enough. You must value life and act with understanding. Many humans fail at this simple truth." Alex exhaled, feeling a rush of relief and pride. He had passed the first trial, but he knew this was only the beginning. "Now," the queen continued, her glow shifting to soft blue, "you must face a trial of intellect. Observe the mechanisms before you. Solve the problem, or the consequences will test not only your mind but your patience and courage." Before him, a floating platform rose, displaying a complex arrangement of glowing geometric shapes. They shifted and rotated in patterns, each movement connected to another. Alex realized it was a puzzle of energy flows, designed to test his reasoning skills. He knelt and studied the shapes, tracing the connections with his hands. Each shape emitted a hum, responding to touch and thought. He moved pieces carefully, noting how one adjustment affected the others. Time seemed to stretch as he focused, his mind working methodically. After several minutes, he found the correct sequence. The shapes aligned perfectly, and a soft chime filled the chamber. A hidden panel opened, revealing a glowing orb containing knowledge about the alien world, its history, energy systems, and culture. Alex carefully studied the orb, absorbing what he could, knowing that understanding was a key part of survival here. The queen's voice resonated in his mind. "Excellent. You are quick to observe, patient to act, and clever in thought. These qualities are rare even among humans, yet your final test remains, a test of moral courage." The platform shifted again, carrying Alex to a cliffside overlooking a glowing valley. Below, a group of smaller aliens struggled against an unstable energy flow that threatened to engulf them. They were trapped, panicked, and unable to free themselves without help. "You may act," the queen said, "but you must choose carefully. Direct action may endanger others. Hesitation may allow harm. What will you do?" Alex assessed the situation. He noticed that the energy flow reacted to thought patterns and emotion, a living force that could be guided but not controlled with force. He took a deep breath, centering his mind. Slowly, he extended his hands, focusing on calming the energy and creating a safe path for the trapped aliens. The energy pulsed violently at first, resisting his influence. Fear crept into his mind, but he pushed it aside, recalling the lessons of observation and patience. Gradually, the path stabilized. The aliens carefully moved through the clearing, guided by Alex's precise control of the energy. One by one, they reached safety. The last alien, a small childlike being, looked up at him with wide, grateful eyes. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection. The court hummed with approval once more, and the queen's glow turned brilliant gold, brighter than ever. "You have succeeded," she said in his mind. "Courage, intelligence, compassion. You have demonstrated qualities that many humans lack. You act without fear, yet with thought. You value life, yet understand responsibility. This is why I watch you, because you are remarkable among your kind." Alex exhaled, overwhelmed by the intensity of the trials. He had faced fear, moral choices, and challenges that tested both mind and heart. Yet through it all, he had acted as a human, curious, courageous, and compassionate. The queen's form shifted closer, radiating soft light that felt almost warm. "You see, Alex," she said, "your species is unique. Many come seeking power, domination, or conquest. You come with nothing but your mind, your heart, and your courage. That is what earns respect here. That is why you are noticed." Alex bowed deeply. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I only act as I believe is right. I did not seek praise or reward." The queen's glow softened to silver. "And yet your actions bring inspiration. You show what a human can do, even in a world far from your own. That is why you matter here." As the day ended, Alex was escorted back to his chamber. He felt exhausted but also exhilarated. He had faced trials designed to challenge every part of him: physical courage, intelligence, and moral character, and had emerged with the respect of the Queen and her court. Sitting by the balcony, Alex watched the glowing rivers and forests below. The alien world was vast, beautiful, and filled with mysteries. But for the first time he felt a connection, not just to the world but to the Queen, who had seen something extraordinary in him. Somewhere in the distance her presence lingered. Not threatening, not demanding, but watchful, curious, and thoughtful. Alex understood that his journey was just beginning. The trials had shown his strengths, but the Queen had more to teach him, and more tests awaited. And yet, as he looked up at the twin moons shining over the alien landscape, he felt a quiet confidence. He was a human far from home, facing beings far more advanced than himself, but he also carried qualities that mattered: courage, intelligence, compassion, and a willingness to learn. Tomorrow the Queen would continue her lessons. Tomorrow the trials would grow more complex. And tomorrow, Alex would have to prove once again that a human's heart and mind could match even the most extraordinary challenges of this alien world. For now, he allowed himself a moment of pride. He had survived his first true tests. He had acted with thought, care, and bravery, and in doing so, he had shown the Queen and perhaps even himself what it meant to belong, not through ownership or power, but through character, courage, and the simple strength of being human. The morning sun shimmered over the alien city as Alex prepared for the day. After completing the trials of courage, intelligence, and compassion, he felt more confident, but also aware that the Queen's challenges were far from over. She had hinted at something more personal, a trial not just of skill but of heart and choice. "Alex," the Queen's voice resonated gently in his mind. "Today you face the trial that matters most. You must make a choice that reflects who you are, not what you think others want, but who you truly are. Are you ready?" Alex nodded, swallowing the nervous lump in his throat. "I am ready, Your Majesty." The Queen's glow shifted to a soft silver as she gestured for him to follow. They walked through corridors that pulsed with light, energy, and color. Alex noticed that the palace seemed alive, responding to their movements almost as if it were anticipating the coming challenge. At the end of the corridor, the Queen stopped before a large balcony overlooking the valley below. There he saw a group of aliens struggling to contain a flowing stream of energy that threatened to flood their village. The Queen's thought entered his mind. "This is not merely a test of skill, Alex. It is a test of choice. You may leave this planet, return to your people, and never interfere. Or you may stay, risk your life, and help those who cannot survive without you. What will you do?" Alex looked down at the village. Panic and fear radiated from the aliens below. He could see the energy shifting unpredictably, threatening to destroy their homes. His mind raced. Leaving would be safe. Returning to Earth would mean completing his mission without endangering himself. But something inside him stirred. A human instinct to help, to act, to protect those in need took hold. "I will help them," he said aloud, though the Queen could hear him in her mind. Her form shimmered, radiating bright gold. Interesting. Few humans choose responsibility when the easy path is open. Courage, yes, but will your wisdom guide your actions? Alex concentrated. He observed the flowing energy, noting its patterns. Unlike the previous trials, brute force or simple patience would not work. The energy was reactive to thought, emotion, and intent. He remembered the lessons of the court: act with intelligence, observe patterns, and trust yourself. He extended his hands toward the energy, focusing on creating a safe path for the aliens below. The energy pulsed violently at first, responding to his fear and uncertainty. Alex took a deep breath, centering himself. Slowly, carefully, he guided the energy into a controlled stream, diverting it away from the village and toward an empty valley. The aliens below followed his guidance, moving along the safe path he had created. One by one, they reached solid ground. Alex watched as children and elders alike reached safety, their glowing eyes reflecting relief and gratitude. The Queen's glow shifted to a brilliant, steady gold. "You have chosen wisely, Alex. You risked your life to protect others, not for glory, but because it was the right thing to do. Few humans act in such selfless ways. Alex exhaled, exhausted, but satisfied. He had faced fear, moral uncertainty, and danger. And through it all, he had acted as a human, compassionate, intelligent, and courageous. The Queen's voice entered his mind again, this time softer, almost thoughtful. Your species surprises me. Even when far from home, even when nothing is asked of you, you act with heart and mind. This is why I watch you, why I test you. You are remarkable, Alex. Perhaps more than you know. Alex looked up at her form, glowing softly above the balcony. Thank you, Your Majesty. I did what I thought was right. I didn't act for reward or recognition. The Queen's glow shifted to a deep, serene blue, a sign of reflection. And yet your actions inspire. You show my people, and perhaps even me, the value of human thought and compassion. You act freely, yet with responsibility. You belong to no one, yet you belong everywhere. Alex felt a strange warmth at her words. To belong, not through chains or ownership, but through trust and understanding. That was a concept he had never fully considered. And yet, in this alien world, under the gaze of this extraordinary Queen, he began to understand it. Now, the Queen continued, her glow softening, you face the final part of this trial. It is not a challenge of skill or courage, but of choice. You may remain here, learning and helping my people, or you may return to your own world, completing your mission but leaving what you have touched behind. Decide, Alex. Your choice will define who you are. Alex thought deeply. Returning to Earth would be safe. He could report his discoveries, return to his people, and finish his mission. But leaving meant abandoning the bonds he had begun to form, the lives he had helped protect, and the trust the Queen had placed in him. Staying meant responsibility, challenge, and perhaps danger, but also purpose. He remembered the lessons of the court: courage, intelligence, compassion, and honesty. Which path reflected the human qualities he valued most? Which path would honor the instincts that had guided him throughout his life? I will stay, he said finally, his voice firm. I will remain here to learn, to help, and to act where I am needed. Not for reward, not for recognition, but because it is the right choice. The Queen's glow brightened, radiating a pure, brilliant gold. Excellent. You have chosen wisely, Alex. Your decision reflects heart, mind, and character. Few humans could choose such responsibility when given the easy path. You honor your kind in ways that surprise and inspire us. Alex felt a surge of pride and humility. He had acted not for himself, but for others. He had shown that humans, even far from home, could act with courage, intelligence, and heart. And in doing so, he had earned the Queen's respect, not as a subject, but as someone who mattered, who belonged in his own way. The Queen moved closer, her form shimmering in soft light. Alex, you have proven yourself in ways most cannot imagine. You are free yet responsible. You belong to no one, yet your actions matter to all. This is rare, even among your kind. You will remain under my guidance, as an ally, a learner, and a friend to my people. Together, we shall see what humans and aliens can accomplish when we act with intelligence, heart, and trust. Alex bowed deeply. Thank you, Your Majesty. I will do my best to honor your trust and guide my actions wisely. The Queen's glow softened to a gentle silver, almost like a smile. You have already done so. And yet much remains to be learned. Tomorrow, you will begin new tasks, more complex than before. But remember this day, Alex. You acted as a human should, courageous, intelligent, compassionate, and honest. That is why you belong here, even without belonging to anyone. As Alex returned to his chamber that evening, he reflected on the day. He had faced not only danger but moral uncertainty. He had acted in ways that required thought, courage, and empathy, and in doing so, he had demonstrated what it meant to be human, not just on Earth but anywhere in the galaxy. Oh, He watched the glowing rivers below, thinking of the aliens whose lives he had helped protect. They would not remember him forever, perhaps, but his actions mattered in the moment, and that was enough. Somewhere in the palace, the Queen's gaze lingered on him, thoughtful and approving. She had seen the strength of human character firsthand, and she had begun to understand that even beings far from home, with no attachments and no chains, could inspire respect, trust, and admiration. Alex closed his eyes, feeling a quiet sense of purpose. He was a human, alone in an alien world, facing challenges beyond his imagination. Yet he had shown courage, intelligence, and heart. And in doing so, he had begun to earn a place, not through ownership, not through power, but through the simple, undeniable strength of being human. Tomorrow would bring new trials, more challenges, perhaps greater danger. But for the first time, Alex felt certain that he could meet them. He was no longer just a visitor or an observer. He was a human who mattered, a human whose choices could make a difference, and a human who had earned the attention and respect of an alien queen. And somewhere high above the glowing valley, the Queen's presence watched him, patient, curious, and full of expectation. The next morning, the palace was alive with a quiet hum of activity. Alex awoke feeling a sense of purpose he had never known before. Yesterday, he had made the choice to stay, to act with courage and heart, and to dedicate himself to helping the Queen's people. Today, his journey would continue, but now it was no longer only a trial. It was the beginning of something greater. Alex, the Queen's voice entered his mind, calm and commanding. Today you begin your new role. You have proven your character, your courage, and your intelligence. Now you will act as an ally, a guide, and a bridge between your species and mine. Are you prepared? Alex took a deep breath. I am ready, Your Majesty. I will do my best to serve your people and honor your trust. The Queen's glow shifted to a brilliant silver, signaling approval. Good. Follow me. He followed her through the palace corridors, which seemed to hum with life and energy. The walls shifted colors, reflecting the movement of their steps. Tiny glowing creatures floated through the air like living lanterns, illuminating the way. For the first time, Alex felt fully immersed in the alien world, not just as a visitor, but as someone who belonged in purpose. They arrived at the central hall of the court. The attendants moved aside, creating a pathway. Alex noticed that the court itself seemed to acknowledge his presence. The alien's glowing eyes shifted toward him, curious, respectful, and attentive. The Queen gestured, and a platform of light rose, carrying Alex above the court. Below, he could see the city sprawling with glowing structures, rivers of energy flowing between buildings, and aliens going about their daily tasks. He felt a mixture of awe and responsibility. Observe, the Queen said. You will now act as an advisor and partner to my people. They will seek your guidance not as a ruler, but as one who sees clearly, acts wisely, and values life. Your humanity is your strength. Use it. The first task came quickly. A group of aliens approached, struggling to balance an energy conduit that powered part of the city. Its flow was unstable, threatening to disrupt the lives of thousands below. Alex studied the conduit carefully. He noticed how the energy reacted to focus, intention, and timing. Using the lessons from the previous trials, he guided the flow, stabilizing it and preventing disaster. The aliens around him expressed gratitude through gestures, their glowing eyes bright with relief. The Queen's voice entered his mind again. Excellent. You act with intelligence and care. Your actions protect life and maintain balance. This is the human strength I admire. Thoughtful action combined with courage. Throughout the day, Alex moved from one challenge to another. He advised on energy distribution, assisted in solving disputes among alien factions, and helped integrate new technologies with their existing systems. With each task, he realized that his human perspective, creative, empathetic, and logical, was valued in ways he had never imagined. By mid-afternoon, the Queen summoned him to a private chamber glowing softly in shades of gold and silver. Alex, she said, her voice gentle yet commanding, you have proven yourself not only to me but to my people. You have acted with courage, intelligence, and compassion. You are free yet responsible. You belong to no one, yet your presence matters greatly here. This is a rare honor. Alex bowed, feeling a deep sense of humility and pride. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I only acted as I thought was right. I am honored that my actions are valued." The Queen moved closer, her glow softening into a serene silver. "You see, Alex, your species is remarkable. Even when far from home, even when nothing is demanded of you, you act with thought and heart. You inspire not only my people, but also me. You show that humanity is capable of greatness, courage, wisdom, and compassion combined." Alex smiled. "I never imagined that being human could mean so much here. I thought my mission was only to observe, but now I see that my choices and actions can make a real difference." The Queen's glow brightened with approval. "Indeed, and now I offer you a choice, not of obligation, but of partnership. You may remain here as an advisor, a protector, and a friend to my people. You will be trusted, respected, and valued. Your actions will shape our civilization and strengthen bonds between our worlds. Will you accept this role?" Alex considered the offer carefully. Staying meant responsibility, challenge, and perhaps danger. But it also meant purpose, friendship, and the ability to make a real difference. He had come to this planet as an observer, but he had grown into someone who could contribute meaningfully. "I accept," he said firmly. "I will do my best to serve your people and honor your trust, Your Majesty." The Queen's glow radiated brilliantly, reflecting both approval and joy. "Excellent. You have chosen wisely. You will not be a subject nor a visitor, but a partner. Together we shall see what humans and aliens can accomplish when we act with courage, intelligence, and heart." The Queen led him back to the court, where the aliens had gathered. She spoke to them, her thoughts resonating through the minds of all present. Alex could feel the trust and respect being extended toward him. The court's energy shifted, acknowledging him not as an outsider, but as someone who mattered, someone whose actions and wisdom would help guide their civilization. For the first time, Alex felt fully integrated into this world. He had arrived as a human observer, uncertain and alone, but now he was a trusted ally, respected and valued for who he was. The Queen's admiration was not of ownership, but of recognition. Recognition of the qualities that made him human and the choices that had proven his worth. As the day ended, Alex walked through the palace gardens, glowing softly in the twilight. He watched the rivers of light flowing between buildings and the aliens moving gracefully among the glowing plants. The beauty of the world was breathtaking, but more than that, he felt a deep sense of purpose. He had a role here. He had a place, not through chains or control, but through trust, respect, and choice. The Queen appeared beside him, her glow reflecting the colors of the setting sky. "Alex," she said softly, "you have proven that humanity is capable of greatness. You are free yet responsible. You belong to no one, yet you inspire all who meet you. This is why I value your presence, why I watch you, and why I trust you." Alex looked at her, feeling a mixture of pride, gratitude, and awe. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I will do my best to honor your trust and guide my actions wisely." The Queen smiled, her glow softening. "That is all I ask. Your journey is far from over, but you have begun it with courage, intelligence, and heart. And that, Alex, is what makes you truly human." As night fell, Alex stood on the balcony watching the twin moons rise over the glowing valley. He thought of Earth, of the life he had left behind, and of the journey that had brought him here. He realized that being human meant more than survival or skill. It meant choice, courage, and compassion. It meant acting with heart and mind, even when no one was watching. And in this alien world, under the gaze of a queen who had tested, challenged, and admired him, Alex had found something extraordinary. He had found purpose. He had found trust. He had found a place, not as a subject, not as a visitor, but as a partner, a friend, and a human whose presence mattered. The palace hummed softly around him, alive with energy and life. The Queen's glow lingered nearby, a silent guardian and mentor. Alex felt a quiet confidence. The challenges would continue, but he was ready. He was no longer alone. He was a human who mattered, a human who had proven the strength of his species, and a human who had earned the trust and respect of an alien civilization. And somewhere in the distance, the twin moons reflected in the rivers below, a symbol of balance, harmony, and possibility. Alex knew that this was only the beginning. Together with the Queen and her people, he would explore, learn, and grow. He would help build bridges between worlds, showing that humanity's courage, intelligence, and heart could shine even in the farthest corners of the galaxy. He smiled, feeling the warmth of purpose and the thrill of discovery. He was a human, far from home but never truly alone. He had chosen his path, and in doing so had shown what it meant to belong, not through possession, but through trust, respect, and the simple, undeniable strength of being human. And the Queen watched him, patient, thoughtful, and proud, not because he belonged to her, but because he had earned his place as a human who inspired greatness in all who crossed his path. The story of Alex, the human who had journeyed across the stars, had reached a turning point. He had faced trials, learned lessons, and made choices that defined him. And now, standing on an alien world, he understood the true meaning of strength, courage, and heart. He was not just a visitor. He was not just a human among aliens. He was a human who had earned respect, trust, and purpose, and in doing so had shown the galaxy the extraordinary value of humanity.